Peter Jackson recently filmed special introductions for the limited theatrical re-release for the Lord of the Rings extended editions. And that's a mouthful. For those of us who've obsessed over the behind-the-scenes features for over 2 decades now, anytime we get to hear PJ share anything new feels like a special treat, even if he's just retelling some of our old favorite stories from the making of our favorite films. But in one of these videos, he gives a bit of a memorandum to some of the Lord of the Rings cast and crew who are no longer with us, including Sir Christopher Lee, Sir Ian Holm, and Bernard Hill. But the one that was just simply heartbreaking to hear Peter Jackson talk about was Andrew Lesnie, his director of photography, who had a heart attack and passed away in early 2015, only months after the final Hobbit movie came out. Andrew had been Peter's director of photography since The Fellowship of the Ring, and had gone on to partner with Peter Jackson on films like King Kong, The Lovely Bones, and of course, the Hobbit trilogy. He did 8 films in total with Peter, a partnership spanning nearly 15 years. And Peter Jackson hasn't directed a live-action scene since pickups for the Hobbit movies concluded way back in the summer of 2013. More than 12 years have gone by now, and while we've heard rumors and rumblings of projects that he would like to do, like a remake of the World War II film Dam Busters, the last decade has been mostly silent from the director who gave us the world's greatest trilogy. At the end of this new video, Peter says that the reason he hasn't made a live-action drama film is because of losing Andrew Lesnie. He says, "The relationship with the director and his DP is a really intense one. He became a brother to me. That was a terrible blow to me, losing Andrew. It changed my trajectory." Peter goes on to say that the decision to avoid making movies wasn't a conscious decision. He certainly worked on other projects like the World War I documentary, They Shall Not Grow Old, and The Beatles Get Back. Not to mention writing and producing in other projects like Mortal Engines, Where the Rohirrim, and the upcoming Hunt for Gollum film. But he hasn't been directing live-action footage himself since Andrew passed away. He said that the reason he hasn't made a drama film is because it would require me to build a relationship with another DP. And I know this is just the internet and people can say what they want without backing it up, but my heart truly aches for Peter. To his point, relationships in the filmmaking world are incredibly intense. I've made some of my absolute best friends and gone through some of the most painful losses while making movies. On the best sets, cast and crew become as tight as family. A sort of bond forges that holds firm even when people go their separate ways. But when they reunite, that bond, that filmmaking history, that crazy trial by fire of cinematic creation is more powerful than almost any relationship. And on something as intense as The Lord of the Rings, 14 straight months of shooting, or King Kong, or another 14 months shooting The Hobbit, we know that that director-DP relationship between Peter Jackson and Andrew Lesnie was something special. We've seen just a glimpse of that relationship play out on the DVD features, and honestly, I don't blame Peter at all for not wanting to make movies without Andrew. For all you aspiring filmmakers out there, let this be a warning to you, but not the warning you might think. A warning that you should never settle for filmmaking relationships that are purely superficial, ones that simply serve to get the film made. Instead, seek out the crew that you can bond with, where you can develop a special second hand, where you don't even need to speak to each other to understand each other, where you can fight about the best ways to achieve creativity, but still have each other's back when it counts. Where those creative relationships spill into deep friendships, where you start to consider each other family, and for better or for worse, act like it. Those relationships are always more important than the project you're working on, and because of it, your films will be all the greater. I'm excited that Peter concluded his video by saying that he does hope to direct drama films once again, and I truly wish him all the best in building a relationship with a new director of photography. And while we wait for the next Peter Jackson film, let us always remember the DP of the best movies the world will ever see.